Hi, this is needlepointers.com, and today I was going to show you how to make this hair feltie for your daughter. It's a back-to-school pattern with a blackboard and letters. The pattern comes with different letters for each letter of the alphabet, and the apple. And I've made a little bow and put a barrette on the back. To make the hair feltie, I use my embroidery machine, and I purchased a pattern from planetapplique.com. I'll have a link to their website in the description of this video. So the first step you need to do is you need to get some solvay, and I use this water-soluble stabilizer to hoop in my hoop. The size of the hoop, is determined by the pattern, so you would find out what size you need and then hoop your stabilizer. So then what you need is just a piece of felt, and I cut one pretty large. I know is bigger than the actual pattern, and I'm laying that on the top. So then we're going to put this into our machine and start to sew. Okay, so I've placed the hoop into my machine, and I have it ready to start the pattern. And so the first step is going to just do a black line around the outside. This is going to be the outer edge of the feltie. Okay, so I'm going to take it out now because to do the letters, it's always best to use the same color bobbin thread as you use for your letters. This is because the bobbin thread on letters tends to pull up through to the top a lot, and you'd end up getting a lot of, like if you use a white bobbin like normal, you'll end up getting a lot of white bobbin showing through, and it doesn't look nice. So I'm just going to quick change my thread here because I'm going to use yellow, and then we'll start to sew the letter A. I'll then pause the video because you don't have to watch me embroider all the different colors, but what we want to remember is to not forget to change the bobbin back after we stitch the letters. So. Okay, so it's now stitched all the main parts of this hair feltie, and so what I have to do next is put the second layer of felt onto the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the machine and take it over to where I can put the felt on. Okay, so I use spray adhesive, and this is just something I used to spray on all the time. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of spray adhesive on the back, on the other piece of felt. And then here's my project, so I'm going to turn it over, take the felt I sprayed the adhesive on, and I'm going to just put it on the back. And push it down, so make sure it's stuck. So now I have 2 layers of felt. So now I'm going to go back to the machine. Okay, so now I'm back at the machine. I have the extra piece of felt glued on the back. I'm going to stick it in here carefully. Make sure it doesn't bunch up or anything. So I have the black thread felt threaded in the machine, and it's going to just sew a stitch around the outside, which is going to adhere the extra piece of felt that I just stuck back there on. So. So it's sewn around the edge, and so now we have the hair feltie pretty much done. I'm done sewing it. So I'm going to take it out of the thing, and I can unhoop it. So I have the hair feltie, and it's the finished on the back. I can trim those. And then the next step is I'm going to go over and create a bow to go underneath it, and then glue it all together. Alright, so the next step is to cut around the feltie. You cut around the outside line and leave about an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch seam, or allowance around it, so that you don't want to cut right on the line. Okay, so there's the finished hair feltie. So I'm going to make, so to be like this one that I made before, I'm going to make a bow. And I've cut, to make the bow, I've cut 3 5-inch pieces of ribbon, and this is what, it looks like 1.5 inch wide ribbon. And then I've cut 3, these are they're quarter to half inch. You can pick whatever you want, ribbon, and I've cut the ends. These I've cut in the V pattern, and these just I cut on an angle. The best thing to do is to actually heat seal your edges. You might be able to see on this one, I didn't heat seal them yet, and they're already starting to fray a little bit. So heat sealing them will keep this from all fraying as the girl wears it. So to make this bow, all you do is you pinch this together, somewhere around, about the middle. And then the tricky part is holding all of them at the same time. So then I pinch the second one, and I put it in there. And I pinch the third one. So now I have it all. And this is called a pinwheel ribbon. I can then take some thread that I have and just wrap the thread around the center of the ribbon a whole bunch of times to secure it. And you wrap it kind of tightly. And then I'm turning it over and tying a knot in the back. And then I'll cut the ribbon off, or cut the thread. So that's the bottom layer. And then pretty much do the same thing. But these you can't really, you can't pinch, so I'm just going to wrap them. Hold them together. And tying it. So now, and you can make as many layers as you want, or like if you wanted to have thicker ribbons for the second layer, you can put thicker ribbons and do the same thing, you know, and glue them on top. There's a few other demos people have done about how to make pinwheel ribbons, so you could watch a couple of those if you want more ideas on pinwheel ribbons. So I'm just separating the these ribbons, and I'm going to layer them on top. So now, just with my glue gun, I'm going to glue the layer together. And if you want these ribbons to stay a certain way, you can add more glue to kind of keep them in place the way you want them. And then you'll put some more glue on and glue your feltie on the top. Want to make sure it stays on, so I'll add a little bit more glue in here. And try not to glue it to my counter. So there's the hair feltie with the bow on the back. And the last step is to just glue on a barrette. So I'll turn over to the back. Put a good amount of glue on. And there we have finished feltie. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can find more projects like this on our website, needlepointers.com.